single arm scap pull-up. So a scap pull-up, scapula, is really just the pull-up motion without bending your elbows. So if you're hanging onto the bar, you're hanging and then you're pulling those shoulder blades down, so the movement's coming from the shoulders by itself. So on the bar, that would look just like this. That's typically what the scapula pull-up is coached as. It is really just the downward movement or the retraction of the shoulders, and like I said, without the elbow bending. So we're gonna do this in a single arm fashion, but when doing this, it's pretty tough to do just suddenly a single arm scap pull-up without having your feet on the ground. It's a pretty advanced movement, so you have to have your feet in a position that will assist you. So you can either stack up plates right under you so you can use your feet to help. So when I'm doing that, I'm hanging from a ring right here. Using my feet, I can push myself up through this movement right now. Without your feet on the ground, you can also use bands in the non-scap pull-up arm. So the right arm is obviously not doing the scap pull-up, and then from here, I am going through that single arm motion. Now the next thing you want to think about when doing this single arm scap motion is actually trying to retract and look over that shoulder. So what does this look like? It looks like we're training towards a single arm pull-up. That's what I would love everyone to train towards. That's obviously a very hard movement. Not everyone's going to do that. We are trying to create a stepping stone to be able to do that. That will create a much healthier shoulder. It would also be fantastic for those that, like me, are having elbow or wrist pain or all around want to improve their pulling strength. To throw in some more variations for how to start practicing this, the classic way to use bands to help us in a pull-up, you loop those bands around the bar and you can use that knee in there just like that. So if you really wanted to create the feeling of just using one arm through this movement, and again, you can see I'm turning to look over that shoulder. Now I'm starting to really get this single arm scap movement. If we start to fatigue or we just want more help, grab onto that band with the other arm. You can still see I actually have this foot on the ground, but overall, we have to find ways to feel like we are hanging completely. You're not going to hang completely right off the bat, like I said. So bands, feet on the ground, whatever way possible. As you advance, you can go away from the bands entirely, hang from that one arm, and use another arm, maybe on the squat rack or just an apparatus that's close to the bar, and start to really train what it feels like to be hanging and do a single arm pull-up when your body weight is completely suspended off the bar. So again, finding different ways to do this single arm scap pull-up. Elbow does not bend. Rotate to glance over that working shoulder and really focus on the areas. Think about the areas that are pulling this shoulder girdle down to start to get closer to a single arm pull-up.